Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. It has been quite some time and I'm going to be giving you guys my YCS Providence 2025 report. I played in the most recent YCS. Obviously, I did not win. I did not even make day 2, but I did consider that event to be quite successful in my eyes because of the way how I was playing, and for that to be my first solo YCS, because my first YCS was the 3v3 Vegas YCS with Matt. And just the fact that I picked up like a new deck kind of like the week of, because I wanted to play something with new Alliance Insights support in it, I managed to choose Evil Twin Live Twin Fiendsmith, right? I used to play the deck before. I really liked it a lot, but now seeing that it actually got new support, seeing that the new Link one was a light fiend, and playing that with Fiendsmith is absolutely incredible, and I decided to play that. It was great. I loved it a lot, and I wanted to talk about the deck that I played, my matchups, everything like that, and like if there's like anything that I would change in the nearby future. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Alright people, we are back at it again. This is our live twin Fiendsmith deck list that we brought for the main event of YCS Providence 2025, right? You may be thinking about this already and you're just thinking this is literally, this is not the way how I would play it, this is not how other people play it, and this is not like what other deck profiles say as well. But once again, I kind of went at it with a mindset like, let me build this deck myself, let me understand it myself without looking at other deck profiles, and just not be tunnel vision in this, right? Because I played this deck before, and basically I kind of said to myself, I think I can get myself an understanding of this deck the way how it is going to be built now, and kind of like mixing that up with the way how I used to play it before, because I didn't play no sprites, I didn't play anything fancy like that. I played just pure live twin, and I also kind of did just play it with the Unchained package as well. And I did, like, way back then, I put in like a Dogmatica package in here as well. It worked in my favor. That's what matters, right? So for our main deck over here, we have triple copies of Kisakil and triple copies of Lila. You may be thinking, why am I playing more than even 1 or 2 copies of Lila? I just thought I'd look at it as a way, just like, hey, I'm playing triple copies of Lula. If this card gets hand trapped, your turn's kind of over. That does depend, right? Because like, we are maxing out on our Kisakils, and if we open up the Lila, that's gonna be the only way how we get into our Kisakil. Well, there are gonna be opportunities for the Lila and for the Kisakil Frost to be paired up in the same hand. So this being hand trap might not be the worst thing in the world if you have this card in your hand. If you don't have anything else in your hand besides from the Lila, you're kind of in a very tough spot already. But I kind of saw it to be just like just three extra starters for the deck as well, right? Obviously, I definitely did learn my lesson where this is not exactly like the best card to start off with, even though I really didn't run into any chances of like people hand trapping this when I have nothing else in my hand. I was completely fine with that. I definitely was. I think only one time I got hand trapped, but I have Fiendsmith cards to back it up as well. So that's something that it didn't really hurt me all that much, right? So Kisakil, did people hand trap this? Absolutely they did. They kind of just saw it to just be like no other way to hit this deck, and I'm just like, hey, there are just other ways to hit this deck, but it's kind of hard to just hit this deck without like them wasting cards on it, right? Because if you hit Kisakil, okay, cool, I don't have an extra body, but all I need is really one monster to just get into the Kisakil deal, specifically Kisakil. So having this, whether it's hand trapped or not, and just normal summoning this, because it's, once again, it is a Kisakil monster, so you are able to just normal summon this, just go pop off full combo as well. So that part is really good there. This card is still good, but if it gets hand trapped, like I mentioned before, with nothing else, you are in a tough spot. And double copies of Lilo Tree, right? Lila Sweet. So Lila Sweet is a really good card. The hand trap effect did come up quite some times as well. And obviously the main reason why this card is at multiple copies is because of the fact that this card, you send it to your graveyard for cost, which is absolutely disgusting, with the Kill Link 1. So basically, people are not going to interrupt this, but they have to basically like just adjust to the fact that if they let this go and they interrupt anything else in here, whether it's going to be the Trouble Sunny, any of these cards over here, you get an automatic +1. Is a lingering effect, just like the Charmies are. So this card's really good. This card's insane, absolutely. So this card is just an extender from the graveyard. You dump it with this, and then when you control a Kill monster, you just special summon this card from your graveyard, right? So that's good. Lilo Tree. Lilo Tree is a weird one, right? Because Lilo Tree is mainly in here to just kind of like get paired up with another Lila, even though it needs a Kill to kind of like to extend itself. But obviously this was my thought about it, right? I go Kill, special summon Lila, and then if I have a Lila Tree, I just special summon the Lila Tree, and I overlay both Lilas to go into the Djinn Buster, because I in fact don't really need like more than one copy of a Lila to go along with my whole entire combo, right? So what I mean by that is that if I have one Kill with double copies of double Lila one way or another, right? Overlay these two together, make Djinn Buster, go to Link 1, dump this, and then I just continue full combo there, right? But I obviously, and when it came to like games 2 and 3, cards that I obviously cut from the main deck was cards like obviously Lila Tree, 1 to 2 copies of the regular Lila as well, along with like any non-engine that just kind of just didn't work, or it just doesn't impact your opponent enough. You're playing triple copies of Sunny Snitch in here. It is very obvious that this deck does not suffer to Droll. So, and the only way to basically hit this deck through the Live Twin engine that with Droll is going to be Sunny Snitch at something, right? Just be careful what you add here. If you have Kill, if you have Lila, if you have anything else, you kind of just add whatever you're missing here besides from maybe the Lila Sweet, maybe. But this card is still possible to add off of this as well. Your opponent hits you with Droll, you just don't care, right? The only reason, like, the only way like how the Droll might hit you just a little bit harder would be either through the Fiendsmith engine, or obviously through a card that I did not play because Droll was all over the place because of the Mitsurugi stuff, and that would be Secret Password. Secret Password obviously adds only a spell, right? So if you have only this and then you add this and then you get Drolled, you are not in a good position there. And we kind of want to keep this deck to be like the one that's resilient to Droll as well. So that is why you kind of just don't play the Secret Password, because I mean there's no other reason to, right? So you just kind of like, that's why also another reason I decided to max out on the Lila as well, because like as long as I have a normal like a monster starter, I don't need to really worry about Droll in this certain case over here. The only other way that you kind of get hit by Droll is through Fiendsmith engine, but more than half of the time, like, you don't need to start off with the Engraver or anything like that if your if your Evil Twin stuff like officially bridge over to the Fiendsmith stuff successfully, right? So these are definitely cards. You still played the certain ratios over here with the 2-track, the 3 Engraver, 1/1, and 1 as well. But this is definitely, I see these cards to be more follow-up now, instead of like being in the main combo. Obviously, you still see cards like Lacrima, you day dump an Engraver, and then you make like cards like Caesar as well. But like if you have an engraver in hand along with like a normal summon of the yugioh, you just kind of like just go live twin stuff, and then you just save this for like a follow-up, or if you get interrupted to a point where you just can't play with your live twin engine anymore, so you just kind of go the engraver stuff after that, and then you kind of get yourself back into the same pace as well. So I see these cards to be these cards are insane in this deck, especially with the Link 1 just being a Light Fiend, and the fact that engraver during the combos like puts back the Light Fiend as well to just keep using it later on as well. So absolutely insane. So Fiendsmith, keep everything the same. Non-engine, this is a deck that can play like like half of the deck to be non-engine. Obviously Ash, Fuelos, Valor, Nib, Imperm, and then like the Holy Trinity, the new Holy Trinity of the crazy spell cards, right? So Call By, Tactics, Cross Out. Really good, really great. The Cross Out is mainly in here to just fight against cards like Nibiru. So that's it. And even if you get Nibiru'd, like it depends on where they Nibiru you from, where you are able to just kind of like rely on those Fiendsmith cards that I was talking about now to kind of like get you back into the game. So it doesn't really get you back into the game via live twin stuff. It once again, it does depend on where they hit you as well, like because like there are just ways to just you just get a token, you get an engraver out, you just go for sequence will just get you into the Duke of Demise. The Duke of Demise can grant you an extra normal summon, whether if you just kind of like clogs on either one of these to go back into your live twin combos, or you can just use like you just use all of those cards to go into like a card like a Bow if you get nibbed with like the Trouble Sunny accessible to your graveyard as well. So that's also another thing that you can think of, right? Extra deck, I think everything here is perfect except for the Gym Buster. The Gym Buster is great, and the main reason why I kind of kept it in here, because obviously now that I realized this, I realized that I was wrong about this, right? The card is this card is basically in here if you get a disgusting hand where you are able to, once again, as I mentioned before, guarantee before even linking off to the Link 1, you get double copies of Lila, and that includes hard opening this card as well, because like I don't see myself really kind of like going out of my way to search it off with the Sunny Snitch unless if I can guarantee that this card will go through, right? So that's also something right there. Well, and you can obviously, like, if you have this and this, you can just go Sunny Snitch, search this anyways, because like once again, your board will have double Lila on it before you link it off to go into Evil Twin Lila, for example. So that's definitely one thing there. Side deck. You may be thinking, where the hell is Lancia? I really just thought that I just had like a 5-head meta moment where I just say Lancia just doesn't do anything against Maliss anymore, and I was wrong. Not because it happened to me, but it just happened to other players. It happened on stream, and it happened everywhere, right? Where like you end your games early, you walk around, you just see these games happening, and the power of having or not having a Lancia is pretty big against the Maliss deck for sure. So I thought I was nice like that, but no, definitely not. But when it came to my matchups, I didn't lose to Maliss at all. I went up against two Maliss. I went against both of them, and Lancia did not come up. I just basically hand trapped them to death, and then I just kind of like overpowered them through there. So that's basically how I won. So yeah. Side deck, we have triple Droll because of the obviously Mitsurugi, and then there are just like other rogue decks out there because people play whatever, right? That this card just works, and especially the fact that a lot of people notice now, but especially for this deck that doesn't really die to Droll and Lockbird, I always side this card in no matter what matchup it is, because like I'm bound to get either Voiceless. Purulia I really don't care about. Unless if your hand is just like full of extenders, which is either the Frost or the Treat. You don't really care about this one, but Fuelos, you really care about Fuelos, because like, look at your extra deck, and especially the fact that your combo just goes through so much of your extra deck. You don't want to be giving your opponent a whole bunch of draws either. So as soon as you get Fuelos, you get Fuelos early. You guarantee get Fuelos early. Or they go on the normal summon of the key skill, activate the effective key skill. They chain Fuelos. Either I have the Ash, or I summon the card. They get a draw. I Droll them, because Droll doesn't do it in a single thing against me, like I keep saying, right? So drawing them on that is absolutely worth it, because you want your combo to go through, and you don't want your opponent to draw into hand traps either. So Droll against yourself is really insane. Triple copies of Perulia because of like Ryzeal, Mitsurugi, and you honestly just drop it as well, just because of like a normal summon. As even getting just a +1 off of this is still good, especially that this deck just plays so much non-engine anyways. You want to kind of draw into them as well. So like this is really good. Back row removal, terrible decision. Didn't see a single one. And and anytime that I would like side in the lightning storm to like kind of like wipe out my opponent's front row, their monsters, they always had a negate for this. So I just didn't. Every time I saw sided it in, I didn't see it. Every time I saw it, my opponent had an interruption for it anyways, like especially when it comes to Mitsurugi stuff as well. This card, it's all right, but not in this meta. I just don't think this is the time for a lightning storm. Same thing with Duster. I'm just basically just hoping that I go up against either a back row deck, or like this card is like kind of like very niche in like Ryzeal or something like that. For one thing is a one of, so you basically have to draw it, and two, you wipe their back row, but like they have too much going on in their front row, like Ryzeal Detonator. Like Detonator would just destroy you. Maliss, it doesn't make a difference either, because like Maliss just doesn't care. Everything is in their monsters. So I think that this card is not good in this deck. It's not good. Like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but like not here. Definitely not. This is good against Regensis Kashtira, especially that if they're playing a stun variant of the deck. But the deck, that deck is seen to be rogue. It's definitely rogue for sure. So that like you could definitely side these cards in, like when it comes to like a regional or something like that. But for YCS, where like everything kind of like gets to the point like you're definitely gonna go up against meta, I just don't think these cards are gonna move in here. So definitely not. I did another variation of the list where I took these cards out. I switched up a whole bunch of things in here, so that's going to come up a little bit later, or in the next video, depending on what I'm feeling, right? Droplet. This card's disgusting. This card's disgusting in Live Twin, right? Especially the fact that, like, you get, like, Fuelos, Perulia, draw a whole bunch of cards, if they play into it, and then, like, Droplet can, like, discard those excess cards, especially when you draw into, like, spare, Fueloses or Perulias, and then you're just able to like just negate a whole bunch of things, especially when it comes to like Mitsurugi Ryzeal as well. Like those decks are insane, and a card like Droplet would just help you out in those situations as well, unless if you don't have like an spare imperm or something like that to like just like get rid of it. So that's also another thing there. Yeah, this card's disgusting. Also, another thing that I used to do back then, which is very, very usable now when it comes to like Live Twin list. You go second. You normal summon either Key Secure or Lilo, right? Your opponent attempts to negate it some way or another, right? Especially when it comes to a monster on their board. You go Chainlink 1, they Chainlink 2, whatever, and then you go Chainlink 3 Droplet. Send that monster to the graveyard along with anything else that you don't need in your hand to negate whatever you want on your opponent's board, and then Chainlink resolves, everything's negated, you summon another one, and then you activate that effect again, because once again you got rid of that monster. And for these Live Twin monsters to have their effects to summon the other one, you need to control no other monsters as well. So basically You go Lilla, you go Droplet, send the Lilla, summon Kisakyo. Now Kisakyo can activate its effect to summon another Lilla, which is pretty disgusting. It's broken in here. So these cards are insane. And Solemn Judgment. Solemn cards right now are absolutely terrifying. These cards are nice. Like, not only did I use these cards to like negate like board breakers, but like especially when I have this card set and they start going off with a combo, makes it to me now it just says, hey, my opponent has nothing, has no board breakers or anything like that. We hit something that just kind of like says, yeah, you just can't play, you just can't like set up like one of your best monsters either. So like Solemn Judgment is absolutely broken. Solemn Judgment against Ryzeal Detonator is disgusting because now that card is not properly summoned. If they don't have access to Ryzeal Cross, they just can't put that card back into their deck either, and it makes cards like their Eclipse Twin and things like that dead in a way where they just can't bring back the Detonator. They have to bring back something else. So Solemn Judgment, great card, amazing over here, right? That is gonna be it for my progress report for YCS Providence 2025. I felt like it was really successful in my own eyes because like that was my first solo YCS and I got as far as round 6. A lot of people don't see that to be a victory in their eyes, but for me it definitely does. And it basically says that was only just the weekend of Alliance in Sight like being released. So now I basically have this entire format to just figure out how to play this deck and just figure out text that I need against like the meta and what would help me out as well. So I love this deck a lot, I really do. Gonna continue playing it, gonna continue making videos about this if I actually stick through my promise for once, because I usually don't, I really don't. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day, and thank you so much for listening to my yapping, because I'm a professional yapper at this point. And I shall see you on the next video. Peace.